Meu nome é Cristiane Pereira, eu sou gerente de comunicação e marketing da ABDAN e nós estamos aqui hoje para gravar mais um episódio do Nuclear Cast. Eu estou aqui hoje com o Stephen McKinney, ele é o Regional Vice-presidente at Westinghouse. Hi Stephen, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you to be here with us today. Well, first, I want to talk a little bit about Westinghouse global presence. Could you please talk a little bit about Westinghouse word reference?
Yeah, many folks have probably heard of George Westinghouse. George Westinghouse in the 1800s in the U.S. was a pioneer of new technologies. And in the United States in the 1950s, Westinghouse Corporation developed a lot of advanced nuclear, which is about half of the operating plants today around the world are Westinghouse technology. So we spend, we're continuing to invest in new nuclear. We have 3 flagship technologies. Our shovel-ready AP1000, which is a 11 to 1200 megawatt advanced Gen 3 plus reactor. We have our AP300, which is our small modular reactor that's based on the AP1000 technology. And then we have a microreactor design, which is the eVinci. It's a 5 megawatt nuclear battery, essentially. It's a microreactor, so it's able to be shipped across the road, across highways, and very small footprint. So, on top of that, we also provide services and fuel and parts and support to the operating fleet around the world.
Oh, perfect. And let's talk about technology and knowledge transfer. Okay. One of the main debates in Brazil concerning technology transfer and workforce training, I want you to explain me a little bit about this and how does Westinghouse typically work with national partners to ensure local development and technological independence?
Yeah, it's a very good question. One of the wonderful things about Brazil is you already have a civil nuclear program. So you already have a workforce. You already have educational institutions. You have a supply chain, a well-established supply chain. So we look to Brazil as a potential partner to help us grow a global footprint of reactors by using the workforce that's developed here. So we have a very large footprint in Brazil of Westinghouse employees, and we're looking to grow more. But more broadly, we are also looking for supplier partners that can help us provide large components, valves, cables, other things like that are needed for reactors really around the world, but especially in Brazil. And through our partnerships, we have a wide variety of technology transfer arrangements that can be, that we can use to help, make Brazil more independent from the rest of, from a standpoint of like the existing reactors you have today. You don't want to be reliant on outside vendors outside the country, and you want to be self-sufficient as much as possible. So.
And talking about technology, I want to talk about what we have the brand new. It's talk about SMRs.
Yeah.
And about SMRs, descarbonization. Well, I have a question here because Westinghouse has great investments here, And what is the current stage of the technologies and how can they be applied in countries such as Brazil?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So I'll talk first about our small modular reactor, which is our AP300. It's the reference design for the AP300 is the AP1000, which is in operation in the U.S. and in China, and we have plans to expand the AP1000 really around the world, so the design of the AP300 is based on that same technology. So we believe that the licensing path for the AP300 is much shorter and easier than many of the new SMRs on the market. We believe that the US NRC and other regulators around the world will find the similarities between the AP1000 and the AP300 reassuring and easier to license. So what we believe is the key to new nuclear development is really several steps. It's an ease of regulation and the regulatory piece, and getting a much quicker regulatory approvals, and we believe that the AP1000 and the AP300 will help with that because of the familiarity. But then it's also government support. We believe that the government plays a key piece in a vision for what the energy policy of a particular country like Brazil would look like. Do we want to invest in carbon-free power like nuclear power? Do we want to invest in data center build-outs and things like that require large amounts of electricity? We think that we're best positioned to respond to both of those. And so we think that a partnership between private companies, the government, and investors are very important to fast track in new nuclear. So.
Perfect. And talking about investments, we have like the SMRs that we can talk about the future. Yeah, because for Brazil, we don't know how much time it takes. You think?
To build a small modular reactor?
Yeah, here in Brazil.
Well, the challenge is nobody has built a small modular reactor. Okay, so many people estimate how long it takes to build a small modular reactor, but until one has been built, we won't really know. Okay, we have built AP1000s, and we know with great certainty how long it takes to build that. So we believe that foundation allows us to better estimate how quickly a small modular reactor can be built, and we believe that we can build, in much shorter time than the large reactors, and a much smaller footprint, and all that's built through the modular approach of building the components and shipping either building the components on site or in a factory and shipping those to the site for assembly.
Okay, and talking about today, we have Angra 3, and I want to talk about Angra 3.
Okay.
And strategic partnerships. So Brazil is discussing financing models and partnerships to complete Angra 3. Is Westinghouse interested in participating in it?
So we've had discussions, over the last couple of years about Angra 3. We see Angra 3 really as the continuation of a construction project. And Westinghouse is not a construction company. So we're an engineering and procurement company. So for the AP1000s and the AP300s, we do all the engineering and the procurement of the components, but we don't do the construction.
Yeah.
We partner with construction companies to do, to build the reactors. So we see that Angra 3 restart as a construction project, and we're not currently interested in getting into the construction business. So, if there were engineering opportunities, perhaps, or if there was opportunities to install upgraded, components or provide, procurement of instrumentation and control systems, for instance, we might be interested in a partnership there, but not on construction.
Okay. And well, our future, our nuclear future projects, do you have other projects here for the future in Brazil? Not only focus on Angra 3?
Yeah, I mean, so the life extension of Angra 1 is a very important, we've been working on for the last, 5 years. We just completed some very important upgrades in the spring of the Angra 1 site to help extend the life of that unit. And we have a lot, many upgrades planned in the future. So that's a big focus for us, is the safe and continued operation of Angra 1. We see that as a building block to help us, perhaps with expansion of new nuclear in Brazil. One thing that's very important to mention is we believe that the privatization of nuclear power in Brazil is a very important thing, and we see there's interest in the Congress of supporting privatization to allow private companies to come in and invest in nuclear power, and we see that as an important piece to new nuclear development in Brazil.
Okay. And talking about new projects, we have in Brazil an opportunity now talking about data centers, and with the growth of data centers, we have new opportunity in the electricity intense industries. The demand for firm and stable energy is really growing. And how does Westinghouse assess the role of nuclear energy? How do you think it can happen? What do you think about it, about the nuclear energy and these projects focus on data centers?
Yeah, that's a very thoughtful question. I look at this moment today with sort of the beginning of AI as like the cell phone, the smartphone movement, like when smartphones first started. We can't imagine today living without a phone, right? And I think if we move into the future, we're going to see that the future, we can't imagine not living without AI. It's gonna change the way we live and everything we do, right? And so
it's changing, I think.
Already.
Nowadays, we can see this happening.
Absolutely.
It's not for the future.
Yeah, eventually it'll be some AI talking back and forth, and they won't need us, maybe.
Yeah.
So. But the amount of energy that's needed to support those AI data center build-outs is extraordinary. And so I think nuclear plays a very important part of that. And I think around the world, nations are understanding, and that's why you see the growing support for nuclear power around the world. And I'm excited for what that means because, for the last 25 years, I've been working in nuclear power, and I believe it's the best, most reliable and safe and carbon-free power source that we have. So I think I think we all need to come together to figure out how we can, respond to this moment. And I think, nuclear and AI and data centers, they exist together, and I think we'll thrive together. So.
Oh, perfect. Stephen, I want to thank you once more, okay, about your participation. And do you want to talk one thing that is important for Westinghouse nowadays to finish our conversation?
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. This is my first podcast like this, so thanks for making me feel very comfortable.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
So, yeah, I mean, I think, I look at, for the last 25 years that I've worked at Westinghouse, we've been very focused on the installed base of reactors and continuing the safe operation of all the reactors we have around the world. What I see today in front of us is a shift in the market from, of course we still have to maintain the safe operation of those plants, but I see the growth trajectory ahead of us. It's very significant, and I think we're going to see around the world here in the next few years very significant growth of new reactor, and I think it's very exciting for the next generation of nuclear professionals, and I would encourage students in Brazil especially that are studying nuclear engineering and nuclear technology. This is a wonderful time to be getting into this industry, and I think there's just a great amount of opportunity in front of them. So, and we're looking to find good partners and good folks that can help us see this, respond to this growth.
Oh.
So thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.